This episode breaks down Qantas's Double Status Credits promotion. We'll cover how it works, the traps that can waste your time, money and credits, and the strategies people use to achieve gold and platinum status, much less than usual. We'll start with what double status credits are and why the frequent flyer community treats it like the most important week of the year. Then we'll cover the rules that trip people up, including the codeshare trap that catches many people out every year. From there, the specific routes and status run strategies that get you platinum for around 3,500. Then the loopholes most people don't know about, including one that lets you earn status from reward flights. And we'll finish with a step-by-step action plan for the 7-day booking window. So Qantas Platinum status normally costs around $10,000 to $25,000 in airfares. It requires hundreds of hours of flying to earn the 1,400 status credits that get you into first class lounges, to the front of every upgrade list, and onto the priority phone line that answers your call in minutes rather than hours. Most years in late February, Qantas runs a promotion that can cut that requirement by more than half. It only lasts for 1 week, 168 hours, and every status credit you earn on eligible flights is doubled. The frequent flyer community calls it DSC, which is short for Double Status Credit Promotion. Planning for this window is like a military operation for some. Spreadsheets and planning annual leave and multi-city itineraries are all mapped out months ahead. Qantas Loyalty CEO Andrew Glantz shared that during one previous offer, a single member booked 115 flights in just the 7 days. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to plan around the double status credits window, which routes earn the most, which traps to avoid, and how to reach gold or platinum for a fraction of the normal cost. So the booking window is only just 7 days. Miss it and you're earning at the standard rate for another 12 months. So what are double status credits and why do they matter? So before we get into any strategy, we need to sort out what this program actually is. There's a fundamental distinction that trips up many beginners, and it determines whether this week is worth your attention. So Qantas runs 2 parallel currencies. Points are a transactional currency. You earn them on credit cards, buying groceries or wine or insurance, and you spend them on flights and upgrades. They're relatively easy to accumulate on the ground. Status credits, on the other hand, are entirely different. They're a reputation score that determines your rank in the Qantas hierarchy, whether you're bronze, silver, gold, platinum 1. You earn them almost exclusively by flying. You gotta have your bum in the seat, and they reset every membership year. And Qantas's marketed twice as rewarding promotion gives you a choice when you register whether you want the double status credits or the double Qantas points on eligible new bookings made during this promotional window. So it leads us to a logical question is, which is better, double points or double status credits? And there's no real clear answer, so it depends on your needs. So status credits are harder and pricier to earn, but only useful if you actually use the benefits that come along with higher status. So if you're not aiming for a higher tier, say gold or platinum, they reset to 0 each membership year, and they offer no long-term value unless you're after lifetime status. You also only earn status credits when you fly, not when you book. This is why your membership year matters. So reach a new tier early within your membership year, and you'll enjoy the benefits for that year and the next. If you fly infrequently or don't need status, points are usually the better option. The promotion itself runs on a strict timeline. So from February 2026, the booking window opened on 24th of February and closes at midnight Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time on March 2nd. We've got 7 days to lock in every eligible booking. The actual travel window, however, is much longer. So we've got from March 3rd, 2026, right through to February 12th, 2027. So you're committing to flights now that you'll take over the next 12 months. Whether it be holidays, work conferences, family visits, long weekends away, all of it can be booked during this 7-day window and flown at any point throughout the coming year. This is why many people call it front-loading your loyalty strategy. Just 1 week of planning shapes your entire travel experience for the next 365 days, and whether you're sipping champagne in the first class lounge or scrambling for a power outlet at the gate, this week can make a big difference with that. Double status credits cut the flying needed to hit your target tier in half. For those who fly enough to enjoy lounge access and priority services, this is the most valuable planning period of the year. But the promotion has rules that aren't obvious from the marketing, and breaking any one of them means 0 bonus status credits on the flight. So here are the rules that catch people out. So the most expensive mistake in this promotion is booking a flight you think qualifies and finding out after you've flown that you've earned no extra status credits. There are 3 rules that govern eligibility, and each one has a trap attached. Rule 1 is Qantas Metal. So these flights have a Qantas flight number starting with QF and must be operated by Qantas Airlines themselves. This is called Qantas Metal, wherein both conditions must be true. The trap is codeshare flights. A flight booked through Qantas with a QF number but operated by Emirates earns standard status credits. However, it receives 0 bonus status credits from the promotion. The same goes for flights operated by American Airlines or British Airways or any other partner. If the aircraft is from another airline, it doesn't qualify. And Jetstar is also excluded. Even if a Jetstar flight carries a QF code, it earns nothing under the DSC. There are, however, exceptions for wet lease arrangements. Finnair's A330 is currently operating from Sydney to Singapore, Sydney to Bangkok routes on behalf of Qantas are eligible, and they carry QF flight numbers, and Qantas treats them as their own metal. Regional operators like Alliance Airlines, National Jet Express, Airlink, Eastern Australia Airlines, Sunstate Airlines are also eligible when carrying a QF number. So make sure to do the simple check on every booking. Look at the operated by line. If that says Qantas or one of the approved operators, you're all sweet and covered. If it says anything else, the segment earns 0 bonus. Rule number 2, register before you book. So members must register for promotion via the Qantas app or website and choose their reward, whether they want double status credits or double points. Ensure you do this before making any bookings, as once you choose and the offer period closes, it can't be changed. The terms technically say members who register and make a new eligible flight booking qualify, which sounds like sequence neutral, but community members and members of the public experience often say otherwise. So the airline's IT system appears to take a snapshot of your account at the moment of registration, and bookings made before that timestamp have historically been ignored by the back-end script, and you haven't been able to get the bonus. So best to play it safe, update the Qantas app to the latest version, register for your double status credits or the double points, and screenshot the confirmation with a visible timestamp just to be safe as well. So the screenshot is your insurance policy if the automated system fails to apply any of the bonus credits. And Qantas officially says that bonus credits can take up to 8 weeks post your flight to post your account, although most arrive within less than a week after the flight. So rule number 3 is that it's for new bookings only. So your PNR, which is your booking reference code, must be created during the promotional window. So flights booked before the 24th of February are ineligible, and simply changing the dates on an existing booking doesn't count to a new booking because the PNR birth date matters, the booking reference number of when that's created. This creates a real decision for anyone with existing bookings. You need to weigh up the cancellation fees against the value of the extra status credits from rebooking during the window, and working in as airfares may have increased during the double status credit promotion as well. There is one little workaround, and so for existing flight credits that can be used as payment towards a new rewards booking during the window, and these are eligible. So you've created a new PNR just paying with old credit, and that's fine, but changing the date on an old booking is not. If you've booked a flight just before the window opens, the 24-hour cancellation guarantee lets you refund without any penalty and rebook once you've registered for the new promotion. So the 3 rules: Qantas Metal, register first and book new, break any one, and the bonus on that flight is 0. Once you know the rules, the question becomes how to earn the most status credits for your money. So the status run playbook. A status run is a trip taken primarily to earn status credits as efficiently as possible. The metric that matters is cost per status credit, or CPSC. And during the double status credits window, the math shifts dramatically in our favour. So to put the numbers into context, platinum status requires 1,400 status credits. At standard earning rate, that typically costs around $10,000 to $25,000 in airfares across the course of the year. During double status credits, strategic travellers have achieved it for approximately $3,500. The key to the number is routing selection and sector stacking. Premier strategy is the Trans-Tasman sweet spot. Flying from Australia's east coast to New Zealand in business class earns international status credits rates despite the relatively short flight time. Because of how Qantas zones these routes, the credits per dollar ratio is exceptionally favourable. Additionally, the real gains come from adding connections, so routing through a domestic city on the way. So Sydney to Auckland direct might earn 80 status credits one way, but Sydney to Melbourne to Auckland earns credits for each individual leg, the direct flight yield plus the domestic sector stacked on top. Someone flying from Sydney to Melbourne to Auckland, then Auckland to Brisbane to Sydney, all in business class, cost approximately $2,000. Total status credits earned during the double status credit promotion is $480, and that cost is $417 per status credit. A single return trip, one weekend, and you're more than a third of the way to platinum. For gold chasers, which required 700 status credits, a multi-city return trip to New Zealand during the DSC can earn roughly 560 doubled credits, and that's 80% of gold in one weekend trip. Domestically, certain routes earn higher status credits than their distance suggests. Brisbane to Adelaide in business class falls into a higher earn category because of the geographical distance between the two cities. Fares sit around $600 one way, and with strong credit per dollar spent during the promo. Canberra is also a really strong zoning gem. It's classified in Qantas's earning tables in a way that yields higher status credits rates relatively to its short distance from other capitals. For travellers based near Canberra or willing to route through it, the credits per dollar can be unusually good. For platinum chasers, the numbers stack across the 12-month travel window. Most people targeting 1,400 status credits during the double status credit promotion get there with a combination of 2 or 3 well-rounded international trips and a handful of domestic sectors spread across the year. One pricing reality worth factoring in is Qantas typically ends its red tail sale immediately before a double status credits promotion. David Flynn from Executive Traveller has identified the pattern where double status credits offers tend to launch on a Tuesday following the end of a major sale, often timed around Qantas's half-year financial results that generate a surge in forward bookings. This means flight prices during the booking window often at the top end of the range. Many people accept this trade-off. Paying a higher fare with double status credits earns a better status credit per dollar ratio than buying a cheap fare at a standard earning rate. The sweet spots are Trans-Tasman business class with domestic connections and domestic routes where zoning favours the credits per dollar ratio. Know your target tier, map your routes, and let the sector stacking do the heavy lifting. Beyond the route strategy, there are several legitimate loopholes that can change the math entirely as well. So what are the loopholes worth knowing? The official promotion rules are pretty straightforward. Buried in the details are the interactions with other Qantas programs, and these create chances that most members often overlook. So the biggest is the Points Club hack. So normally rewards flights, those booked using Qantas points, earn 0 status credits, but members of Points Club who earn 150,000 points on the ground annually earn a small number of status credits on classic reward seats. During the DSC promotion, these reward flights credits are also doubled. By holding Points Club status and booking multi-segment reward flights in business class during DSC, a traveller can accumulate enough doubled status credits to reach gold, roughly for a couple $100 in taxes and fees, which is the cost of making reward bookings, and under 100,000 Qantas points, rather than thousands in cash airfares. If you're points rich but cash poor, this is the path. I'll cover Points Club qualification in detail in the next episode, but the short version is that 150,000 eligible Qantas points earned on the ground in a single membership year will give you access to Points Club and this loophole. So another loophole is the ABN double dip. So for small business owners, by including your Qantas Business Rewards ABN on a personal DSC booking, the individual flyer earns the double status credits, while the business simultaneously earns Qantas points on the same flight. So 2 reward streams from the one ticket. Qantas holiday packages, a flight plus at least 3 nights of accommodation, are also eligible for DSC on the flight portion. In some cases, the package price is cheaper than the flight alone, making this a great way to get both accommodation and double status credits at a favourable rate. Now we'll touch on lifetime status, and this one has a bit of history. So in August 2025, Qantas announced that the DSC bonus credits would no longer count towards lifetime status. The community response was immediate and harsh, and within 24 hours, Qantas reversed the decision. From the February 2026 promotion, status credits expressly count towards lifetime status. But this is worth verifying for every future DSC offer. The airline has already shown that it's willing to try and remove it. One important exclusion is that while bonus status credits count towards the tier status and lifetime totals, they do not count towards the 500 credit loyalty bonus milestone. That calculation uses the base credits only. So if you earn 250 base credits and the 250 promotion credits, you have 500 total, but you haven't crossed the loyalty threshold because it only sees the 250 base. Points Club members can earn status from reward flights during DSC. Business owners can double dip with the ABN, and Qantas holiday packages are also eligible. Lifetime status counting is confirmed for 2026, but check in future promotions and check every year. All of this only works if you execute within the 7-day window. So here's how to approach it. So your 7-day action plan. The booking window opened on February 24th and closes on March 2nd. 7 days to make every decision that shapes your status credits earning over the next 12 months. So here's a sequence that matters and can help. So step 1 is to register for the promo, whether you want the double status credits or the double points. If you don't see the promotion in the app, be sure to update the app to the new version, and that should fix it, or on the website as well. Screenshot the confirmation with a visible timestamp just to double check in case there's any issues down the road. Next is to audit your current status credits balance and calculate exactly how many status credits you need to reach your target tier if you're looking to double your status credits. Here's where it helps to know where you fit. So if you're starting from 0 or bronze and you fly a few times a year, gold at 700 status credits is a reasonably realistic target. It gives you lounge access, domestic Qantas Club and international business class lounges, priority check-in, extra bags and priority boarding. A well-routed Trans-Tasman trip with a domestic connection gets you most of the way there in a single weekend. If you're sitting around the gold mark or a bit above, platinum at 1400 status credits might be in play if you think you'll get the benefits of the platinum status. That gives you first class lounge access even when you're holding an economy ticket, highest priority for upgrades, the ability to call the service centre and request reward seats on routes that show 0 availability online. And if you're already Platinum 1, take the double points. You're earning more status than you need through normal flying. The marginal value of extra status credits is close to 0, but double points on every flight adds a real redemption value unless you're trying to get some lifetime status and you're close to that. If you're points rich but cash poor, aim for Points Club qualification and then book reward flights during the travel window to earn double status credits at minimal cash outlay. There's no requirement that you must reach Points Club status first. You can book the flights now and then reach Points Club Plus in the coming months, and then the flights you book while you hold that Points Club status will be doubled thanks to booking during the promotion. If you're a small business owner, include your Qantas Business Rewards ABN on every booking. The business earns points while you fly personally and earn the double status credits. The next step is to map your full 12-month travel calendar, holidays, weddings, work conferences, family holidays and visits, anything that involves a Qantas flight between March 2026 and February 2027. Book as much of it as you can during the window. For any gap between your planned travel credits and your target tier, add dedicated status runs. Use the sector stacking strategies from earlier, Trans-Tasman with a domestic connection for international rates, or high-yield domestic routes like Adelaide to Brisbane and routes through Canberra. So the next step is to verify every single segment. So check the operated by line on every flight, confirm every leg carries a QF flight number operated by Qantas or an approved wet lease partner. One code share segment earning 0 bonus can leave you just short of your target with no time left to fix it. 2 final notes is the Commonwealth government funded travel is excluded from the promotion. If your employer is a Commonwealth agency under the whole of Australian government arrangement, these flights earn only the standard status credits. This was recently removed as a bit of investigation found out that public sector employees saw a rise of about 20% in bookings during these promotions. So through a bit of backlash, Qantas have excluded Commonwealth employees from benefiting. And some people suggest waiting around 11 a.m. Sydney time on the first day to book, suspecting that back-end system resets at a global UTC clock rather than a local Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Whether you adopt that timing or not is up to you, but registration should happen as early as possible regardless. This won't matter for this promotion as we're already a day or so into the promotion, but for future ones, we can sometimes see a bit of a head and suspect a double status promotion might be on the cards. So something to keep an eye on for next time. So in summation, register first, screenshot the confirmation, audit your target tier, map your year, then verify every operator. The window is 7 days, but the benefits can run for 12 months or even longer. So Status is a tool that removes friction from travel with lounge access, priority queues, upgrade lists, phone support that actually answers. Whether this week is worth your time comes down to one question: do you fly enough for those benefits to pay for themselves? If this was helpful, subscribe so you catch the next one. And if you've got any questions around status credits promotions or how to build a status run, feel free to come join our free community and ask questions in there, and as well with one-on-one support options available as well.